Backroads is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money by the vote of the people, November 4th, 2008.
I wrote a song about you, but that song isn't true anymore. And then I went and put it on a record, and now years later I sit and wonder what I went and did that for. That's like some old photograph you don't want anyone to see. That old ugly snapshot look any less like me. I went and wrote a song about you, but that song isn't true anymore. Now the stuff that we used to listen to, it doesn't do a thing for me these days. Yeah, well that'll happen 100,000 spins of Sweet Home Alabama and Purple Haze. Now the melody and the words, they just sort of lay there on the page like a faded postcard from another age. And the stuff that we used to listen to, it doesn't do a thing for me these days. Now every moment like no other, everyone is getting older. Funny how we think we'll never change. Now the stuff that used to turn me on don't turn me on the way that it used to do. And every day there's something that I swear I never saw before in you. Maybe that's just my tendency. Maybe it's kind of a stage. Maybe I'm a fine wine and I'm mellowing with age. And the stuff that used to turn me on don't turn me on the way that it used to do. Now every moment like no other, everyone is getting older. Funny how we think we'll never change. Yeah, I wrote a song about you, but that song isn't true anymore. And then I had to put it on that record, and now it sits there and it festers like a sore. My name is David Stoddard. I am a songwriter from Minnesota, and my music is lyric-driven. It is guitar-based and piano-based. Every musician has a moment in time that they remember where suddenly the pilot light got lit, and mine was listening to Freeze Frame by the Jay Giles Band. I was knocked out by that organ sound. I could still picture it in my head, listening to it on headphones in my parents' stereo. And I listened to Dolly Parton playing on Saturday Night Live, and I thought, people do this. This is something that individuals and human beings do, and it's glorious. And so I thought, I want some of that. I want to do that. So this is a true story. My father's decided he's gonna run him a marathon. I only run in the figurative sense. Run a few errands and I've run out of gas. Now I frequently run out of patience. I used to run a fair 5-minute mile. Now a mile seems further away. And now if you ask for just a couple of sit-ups, I'm just about done for the day. Yeah, I'm aging, I'm aging, I'm aging. I can feel my decline by the day. Dad's got his own secret fountain of youth. Oh, he's aging, but the other way. And now when I go with him through hill and field in the woods near our neighboring town, I feel like a kid again, holding his hand, saying, Daddy, would you please slow down? And he's not content for some walk in the mall with a fishing cap perched on his head. He keeps on running once he's hit the wall, and if I were him, I would be dead. And I'm aging, I'm aging, I'm aging. I can feel my decline by the day. Dad's got his own private fountain of youth, and he's aging the other way. Yeah, well, I'd go out with him, but every time I just talk about my own aches and pains. He must get sick of the moaning and whining, but if it bugs him, you know, he never complains. By a freak twist of fate, for the first time in my life, I recently saw my dad nude. And it's just as I thought, and it's as I suspected. The old man's a pretty buff dude. And I'm aging, I'm aging, I'm aging. I can feel my decline by the day. Dad's got his own secret fountain of youth, and he's aging the other way. Now my hair's falling out and my joints get all sore and my memories won't do as they're told. I reminisce now about my own good old days, and it sure is a drag to get old. I listen only to Gershwin and Porter. His rock and roll is my chagrin. I mean, he is my father, for crying out loud. How'd I get older than him? I'm aging, I'm aging, I'm aging. I can feel my decline by the day. He's like some freakish old Ponce de Leon, and he's aging the other way. Yeah, my father's decided to run him a marathon. Well, there's a love so hard, it brings tears to the eyes that contemplate it. And there's one so loved that her merest sigh can melt the hardest heart. And there's a sea so large that the finest boat would fail to navigate it. And she's my star, and she is small and she is far, but she surrounds me with her light. So will you hold my heart until I see you again? I'll be dreaming of our love across the miles. Will you hold my heart until I see you again? Till the moment I behold your smiling eyes. Well, there's a fate, it's so cruel that it only lives to see us separated. It's a wall, it's so high like a mountain, it would keep me from my love. It's like a rain so hard that you feel as though you surely must be drowning. And it is clouds and they are high, but I know my star is shining higher still. So I will face that fate for forever, 'cause I know my love's eternal. I will conquer that wall. I'm gonna climb, and I'm gonna climb, and I will fly, and I will sport in that rain, 'cause I know that the rain won't last forever. And I will fly up through those clouds and keep on flying till I'm in my lover's arms. So will you hold my heart until I see you again? I'll be dreaming of our love across the miles. Will you hold my heart until I see you again? Till the moment I behold your smiling eyes. I first began performing in high school with jazz band and choir and all that kind of stuff. And even then, when you were with a group and it was a little more of a contrived situation, there was still a thrill. There's absolutely a thrill and an energy with an audience that's in person. I've never toured full time. I'm always working, teaching, that kind of stuff, and I was only out just for a month or two. Even then, there was a draw. Still feel that pull. Never got tired of it. Maybe that's why, because I didn't do it as much. And of course, these days it's online. But even before that, there's a huge trend toward playing in people's living rooms, house concerts, which are really, really intimate. Most of the time, there's not even a sound system. You're sort of with a group of friends in a living room, and boy, that just ups that energy level. There have been this idea of salons and playing in people's living rooms since music began. And only in the 20th century did we sort of get away from that. But musicians have learned that as time goes on, more traditional venues become more about the venue than about the art being presented. When folk musicians started to return to the living room, people realized that it was a much easier way to perform music, and it's also much more beneficial to the performer. You get an audience that listens to every word. You usually get a place to stay. You usually get a meal or two, and you get an audience that really appreciates the music, and everybody gets a front row seat. Everybody wins. It's like I said, with a venue, everybody's got to win. With the living room, it's the same way, just a different sort of paradigm. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Down through the ages, the grizzled old sages would stand on their stages and give us the word. We'd go forth singing, yeah, we'd all come out swinging, and our ears would be ringing with the wisdom that we heard. Yes, fingers on strings, be ye pawns, be ye kings. There's only one thing that you can count on. So don't you dare take a seat. Yeah, keep moving your feet, 'cause it's a one-way street. And when you're gone, you're gone. Dearly departed, we're all broken-hearted. We thought we were smart, and we knew the why and the how. We thought we could do it, yeah, but we broke it, yeah, we blew it, and now we're all going through it, and we sure need you now. These times of trouble, the hard times seem double. We're stuck in our bubble and everything just feels wrong. If I could hear John Prine sing just one line, I know that I could finish this song. Winds just don't go blowing, and the rivers just aren't there flowing. There's no to and froing, they're all going somewhere. If you think life's a journey and you're there on your gurney, there's no more you turning, 'cause you're already there. Down through the ages, the grizzled old sages would stand on their stages and give us the word. Go forth singing, yes, we'd all come out swinging while we're desperately clinging to the wisdom we heard. Fingers on strings, be ye pawns, be ye kings. There's only one thing that you can count on. So don't you dare take a seat. Yeah, keep moving your feet, 'cause it's a one-way street. And when you're gone, you're gone. There are songs that I've written and people come up and say, well, that song was about this or that. And I thought it was about a guy I knew in high school, but apparently I didn't know it was about some social issue. You know, when you write a song, you take an example and you try to paint a broader picture with it, find common ground with an audience. And people tend to grab onto that. And you go, oh, I guess maybe you didn't know that guy in high school. What else are you gonna find in there? But yeah, it's gratifying and it's very fun. It's very fun to see people's reactions that way. Dakota girl loves the winter time and she longs to hear the wind around the door. She'll stay up till the fire is out just to feel her icy feet upon the hardwood floor. She cherishes this time alone and she'll wait until the sun is gone and never feel the need to light the light. It's windy and it's cold and it's dark and she's alone and she's never felt as grounded as she feels tonight. Outside, the wind becomes a stream that slithers in that gap between her clothes, tickling on her hidden skin like water trickling down until her legs are froze. With open arms, she starts to float and she'll welcome with an open coat, twirl around and take the coolness in. And she's open all the mysteries out, floating on the slightest breeze. In winter, that's the water that she's floating in. Some people have a passion that their summer-loving sisters cannot know. Summer lovers cannot understand the beauty of all those diamonds on the coldest snow. And the wind is gonna make her tears to come, and for a moment when her cheeks are numb, the stars are brighter than she's ever seen. And the way out there is just black as tar, clear out to the furthest star, and she's closer now to heaven than she's ever been. Dakota Girl loves wintertime, and she longs to hear the wind around the door. And she'll stay up till the fire is out just to feel her icy feet upon the hardwood floor. I'm sorry about your request, but I don't know, piano man. I agree with you that it's just the best, and someday I'll learn it if I can. Someday. I'm sorry that I let you down, but I was stuck inside my head. You're a verb and I'm a noun. Maybe someday I'll be better read. Someday. But someday's no different than the day before. An endless stream of opportunities to become more than I am. Sorry I go on and on about the things that catch my ear and eye, but I'm just trying to find a joy that's gone. I'm just trying to keep the fire from dying somehow. But finding less and less, that's no way to live. Perhaps someday you'll find that I have less to give. The more of me I give to you, the less of me there is. I'm afraid someday there'll be no me. Someday I'll be more theirs than his. Someday. I'm sorry about your request, but I don't know, piano man. I agree with you that it's just the best, and someday I'll learn that thing if I can. Someday. 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 My favorite part of the music process is drinking coffee at 2 in the morning on the way home. I like performing. I like being done performing. I like to see what's happened with the audience. I like to have established a relationship with the audience. I like having written a song. Sometimes it happens really quickly. Sometimes it takes months to get the right phrase. And even now, I look at songs that I thought were done and I tear out the lyrics after 2 or 3 years and I look and I'm singing it. Where did that line come from? That line wasn't in there before. You know, there's a little evolution that happens. I like looking back and seeing the change. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. there's 3 to the measure, and a quarter gets 1. You could say it in a rhythm. It goes 1, 2, 3, 1, and it's easy to hear it. It's truth rendered in sound. It's an easy surrender, and it's paradise found. It's 3/4 time. That's a comfortable groove. It's the way we exist. It's just the way that we move. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and the music of love is in 3/4 time. But it's harder for children, 'cause it's so seldom heard. In popular music, it's rarely preferred, but for grown-ups, it's easy. It's the essence of art, something primeval. It's the sound of your heart, and it's 3/4 time. That's a comfortable groove. It's the way we exist. It's just the way that we move. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and the music of love is in 3/4 time. There was a time that I was 4 to the bar, but you gotta keep moving. You just know how we are. There are difficult changes, impossible rhymes, but my memories of you, they're all 3/4 time. They're all 3/4 time. That's a comfortable groove. That's our waltz of existence. It's just the way that we move. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and the music of love is in 3/4 time.
Backroads is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money by the vote of the people November 4th, 2008.